Hi everyone, that's Black here, and welcome back to my game corner. After watching videos on YouTube about AI, I got to thinking, AI has really become quite a big part of our lives. People use AI for everything, from text and images to full-fledged 3D models and animations. Moreover, opinions on AI in society are sharply divided. Some are strictly against it, while others actually encourage AI-generated content. It's no secret that AI has permeated every aspect of our lives. Animators and movie fans complain about AI cartoons and films, bookworms grumble about AI books, music lovers cringe about AI music, and ordinary people are content with yet another fake behind-the-scenes footage from some supposed film adaptation or a batch of pathetic memes created by AI. But what's going on with the gaming community? Are there any games made entirely by AI? And what's going on within gaming community anyway? Well, let's get to the bottom of this rabbit hole. I'll tell my story in order in which I observed this neurophenomenon. Of course, the entire video is divided into episodes. If one interests you more, feel free to skip to it. It all started about a year ago. Back then, an AI Minecraft was launched on a website called Oasis. You could only play for about 5 minutes, and each session required a certain amount of time in a Quake. Initially, the game only offered a couple of landscapes and an option to upload your own. By the time this video was recorded, the selection of landscapes has expanded, although the AI Minecraft itself hasn't improved. At the time, a huge number of Minecraft YouTubers rushed headlong to make videos where they tried to play, study, and some even beat this AI Minecraft. Everything would be fine, but while people were marveling at new technologies and insisting that they were the future, to me it looked, and still looks, like some kind of lobotomy simulator. Seriously, don't you get the feeling something's wrong? Am I the only one whose brain is boiling when I see this footage? What is this? I mean, really, what is this? The problem with this AI thing is, firstly, it can't generate landscapes properly. It's inconsistent. Get too close to a tree and you turn around and there's something else going on around you. At one point I even flew off into space because, well, that's how it works. The game constantly spawns random objects in the inventory, although surprisingly the AI understands that, for example, sand is dug faster with a shovel. Secondly, animals. I haven't encountered them, but I've seen them in other videos and they're creepy. But the creepiest thing is still when everything around you changes with a snap of your fingers. You dig up a couple of blocks and step away, boom, there's a cave. You approach planks, boom, there's a village all around you. Ugh, God help me, my brain is about to turn into a Spitfire. No horror mod for Minecraft can compare to this horror. On the other hand, let's say the game was truly a novelty. People wanted to push the AI capabilities to the limit and find something interesting. Some even made several videos about it, but after a while the lobotomy simulator called AI Minecraft lost its relevance and everyone forgot about it. Time passed, and fans of the Cubic Sandbox showed no signs of stopping. Thus, an AI bot for Minecraft was born. This friend operates entirely through AI, communicates in English, is a bit slow and does silly things, but overall he's a funny guy. A more detailed review of this friend is available down below. It can't complete Minecraft on its own, yet of course, but overall it's fun to play with it. This shows the bright side of AI technology. Let's put it this way. We're all in different situations, and some of us don't have friends who can play Minecraft with us. In my case, I don't have any friends with a license, and as far as I know, a license and a pirated version don't go well together, especially with the mods that pirated versions sometimes lack. Still, Minecraft is always more fun to play with friends, even if your companion isn't the smartest or the most experienced player. Honestly, it's even more fun. Plus, it's a great experiment showing that AI can be used for good. Yes, this isn't a real person with vivid emotions and extensive experience, but just a dumb machine that is slow and, well, maybe cheats a little. For example, he literally sees ore through walls. But it's still a cool project. In the future, this could allow solo players to at least somehow fill the void in the Minecraft world, although better yet, make some friends. Other playlists decided to go further and compare 3 of the most popular AI bots and their abilities in Minecraft. One YouTuber challenged Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT to compete in survival, escape rooms, and even speedrunning. Overall, it's incredibly entertaining to watch. The AI always behaves differently, and it's like watching ants in an ant farm. It's about as entertaining as it gets. On the other hand, this helps to teach AI technology the concept of games in general. Otherwise, it sometimes feels like AI barely understand what a computer game is. In general, videos like these make me think that one day AI will be able to help new players start their adventures correctly and easily, and help more experienced players find more optimal solutions for various problems. I can already imagine the AI searching for more successful skips for speedrunners. But of course, this is just all my imagination. It's not even close to how the AI currently behaves. Its behavior is more like that of a child who's first discovered Minecraft and now is trying to learn how to play it on its own. At least, it's getting somewhere. However, not all AI bots managed to do everything correctly. Meet Merle. Microsoft decided to slightly optimize the help process on the Minecraft help site and created a special AI bot. Merle was actually once the mascot of Minecraft Earth, but she apparently demoted and is now an AI bot. Do you think it works well? Of course not. Merle is slow, often doesn't know the answers to the most trivial questions, doesn't understand the game, and often sees the words and sentences as violations of the site's policies when they aren't. Overall, Merle quickly became a meme in the international Minecraft community. In short, as usual, large corporations tried to appear particularly cool and modern, but ended up completely clueless and producing some kind of non-functional piece of crap. But they made a killing with AI, lol. As usual, large corporations. Merle could have been a really useful assistant. For someone. Probably. But oh well. AI in Minecraft is certainly good and fun, but people certainly didn't limit themselves to just one game. Some YouTube channels began releasing videos of AI trying to create parodies of various games. Essentially, everything from the visuals to the programming code was done through AI. Apart from making some parodies of real games, the AI can't do much yet, and according to humans, it's not even particularly good at coding. So it has to be constantly edited and bug fixed. On the one hand, it's interesting to watch these experiments because, well, we're all trying to figure out what this AI is capable of. On the other hand, it's all terribly raw. It looks like some fucking GTA clones on mobile, honestly. Of course, you can't play all this madness, although I doubt any of you would want to try it. Frankly, I doubt it's playable at all. Of course, this is all very cool. No, seriously, imagine if AI could create some small games, even fully functional ones. It would be so cheap, tasteless, and soulless like everything AI creates. To reach the level we have now in the gaming industry, AI needs, I don't know, a couple of hundred of years. And we're not standing still at all. Let me remind you that this is what Doom looked like 33 years ago, and this is what it looks like now. And this is in just 30 years. And, damn, AI can't do a proper parody, what are we talking about? That's why I consider all this panic with AI will replace us to be complete nonsense. If you want to support me with more than just liking and subscribing, consider checking out the link in the description. There you can donate any sum of money starting from $1. Any donation is appreciated. Thank you in advance. It's no secret that AI is being used in advertising. The recent Coca-Cola scandal alone is worth mentioning. AI advertising is now everywhere where you can and can't put it. And not just advertising, but design and layout as well. Of course, games haven't improved much in this regard. AI-generated covers are now a staple of some crappy knockoffs of popular titles. But that's not all. While browsing YouTube, I saw this masterpiece. Yes, it's an AI ad for a mobile game, which unfortunately I can't even download. But I assure you, it's a typical mobile game with microtransactions. In short, nothing out of ordinary. Actually, you know, no, I'll say this anyway. Some of these games are blatant copies of Thronefall, the most wonderful game on Steam. Here it is yet another thing with combat reminiscent of Raid Shadow Legends, damn it. And resource gathering is exactly like Thronefall and its cardboard copies. It's clear that this mobile piece of crap is rife with microtransactions, just like other mobile pieces of crap, but games like these are 100 times worse than, God forgive me, Clash Royale or something like that. Okay, mobile games are clearly not the topic of this video, so forget it. This game is not made through AI anyway. At most, the images here are AI generated, and of course the advertising too. It's funny that at that point I'd only just started gathering information for this video, and this ad basically just came to me. And here I was thinking I'd have to dig into something deep. To be fair, it's not all about advertising. Remember the Plants vs. Zombies replanted thing? I do. If you don't remember or aren't aware of it, I'll leave a link to the video somewhere below. So, PopCap isn't the only one who decided to use AI, and I'm not talking about Clair Obscure Expedition 33, although frankly I don't understand those at all. If they were just some tiny papers on a pole, couldn't they just pasted some photos in there, or at least lorem ipsum? It doesn't really matter. Gooseworm Games, who made the new Postal game, Postal Bullet Paradise, also decided to use AI. I never figured out whether they use AI in advertising only or in the game itself too, but it was a pretty hilarious situation. First, Running with Scissors announced the game, and a couple of hours later, it's shut down. Of course, this was a response to user complaints. In fact, the developers of the most offensive shooter in the world haven't been doing particularly well in recent years. There was another scandal recently, by the way. However, the news buzzing about all the big names using AI in their games overlooked another layer of content that has firmly taken root on essentially all platforms. Steam began to see the rise of 1001 puzzle-style games generated by AI. Epic Games was overrun by parodies of major projects with AI-themed covers. Nintendo Switch was seeing AI-themed novels. And the PS Store was overrun by half-baked titles with AI slop. And all this is essentially a never-ending pile of AI shit that keeps growing. The worst part is that almost all of it costs money, and not always a small amount. More details about similar games can be found on the channel Graldon. Guy goes through all the games on Steam in alphabetical order, and he has those very AI puzzles and pictures where you need to find shitty AI cats or something like that. And Cusick. The guy had several videos about AI slop on the PS Store. As for me, unfortunately, well, no, fortunately, luckily I can't even record footage of all this, because I don't have a Switch or a PlayStation, but watching this AI madness is utterly disgusting. For some reason, I think the code in these games could actually be made by people themselves, because, well, it's not that hard, really. Especially in novels, which are made on a special engine. But everything else is just plain boring AI stuff. It often turns out that games, if such a word can even be applied to this garbage, are boring, unplayable crap. After all, the AI images can make it hard to figure out what's going on. I'm more surprised by those people who just publish this AI garbage for free. No, thank goodness it's free, but why? Why the hell clutter the platforms with this crap? Look, I understand why some people post AI stuff on Switch or anywhere else asking for money. I understand the AI crap on mobile phones. They all make money. Some from advertising, some from, well, people. So they're essentially even worse than those who post stuff for free. But essentially both of them are clogging up platforms with AI slop, so that... why? Shouldn't we fight this? The Switch stood out to me personally the most. I understand the console's audience and it's incredibly diverse, but I always thought Nintendo's primary target was families. Content that would be safe enough for family viewing. Shouldn't they have some kind of strict control in the store to prevent games with the word hentai in the title from appearing at all? Where this comes from is pretty clear. Naturally, it's made by older guys who have nothing better to do than to make puzzle games featuring erotic AI images. But why the hell this isn't moderated is a mystery to me. PS Store hasn't gone far either. AI quizzes, all sorts of half-baked games, it's all there. My brain has rotted from watching videos of these games. They're uninteresting, empty, have no gameplay value, and are essentially made using the hype of Italian animals to what? Clog up the platform? I don't know, I hate useless things. They frustrate me. I don't understand anything. There's always been garbage on various gaming platforms, and it's clear that even before AI, people found ways to create such half-baked games. It's just that with AI, it's become much easier. There is no need to worry about copyright, no difficulty in creating a game because AI would do everything for you, and of course, you can make some money from it. AI allows people who had some fears to take a step of creating useless garbage and uploading it to the internet, thereby polluting both the internet and the planet. Okay, I've been blabbering on about this for a while now. I haven't really covered even a half of the AI slop floating around in video game stores, so I suggest you to check out for yourself if you're interested. Links to interesting videos on the topic will be below. So, we finally reached the thing because of which I started making this video. You see, I've approached this video from different angles several times, but my goal was always been the same. Find a decent game made entirely with AI. I thought there would be plenty of such games, and I could make a funny and entertaining video, but the hole, as you can imagine, turned out to be deeper and darker, and even more boring. At one point I was afraid I wouldn't find anything interesting or fun at all, but suddenly a glimmer of artificial sunshine appeared on the horizon. Meet Codex Mortis. According to the developers, this game is made entirely by AI, including textures, music, animations, text, and of course, code. The game is currently in early access and is scheduled for full release in the first quarter of 2026. I really hope they don't make it paid. Please. On the other hand, guys seem to be saying that it's some kind of experiment, although judging by the trailers it seems like they're incredibly proud of their game. Speaking of the trailers, for the first time in my review history, I want to dwell on them. First of all, the graphics immediately catch your eye. They scream AI! They're clunky and many of the monsters resemble not only typical fantasy images, but also characters from, for example, the Warhammer universe. Some monsters even resemble Nargle, which is ironic. The Lord of Filth in a filthy game. Did you ever think you could see that? Meanwhile, while watching the gameplay on the screen, you can count how many familiar figures you'll spot here. Secondly, what immediately catches your eye, or rather your ears, do you hear this track? I'll ask the editor to insert a snippet of this great original track. Does it remind you of anything? Maybe I'm going nuts over this game or something, but this is literally a parody of a Doomsgate. I mean, most likely the AI was inspired by this track when creating its masterpiece. And by the way, if for some reason you liked this track, forget it. The music in the actual game is completely different, not even close. Another important detail. The game is a roguelike and a bullet hell. I don't understand bullet hell genre at all, and I really don't like roguelikes. But at least I understand how they're supposed to work. Anyway, you can't judge a book by its cover, even if it's AI. So, of course, we install and open the game. It's supposedly early access and maybe something will change, but there's absolutely no explanation of what's going on in the game. Absolutely nothing. There's just a menu, a bunch of spells that you can't even tell what they do, upgrades, a whole bunch of achievements, some of which I actually got the first time I launched the game, lol. And the ability to start the game. I understand there are supposedly different characters, but I don't understand how to get them. And no, it's not because tutorials are for idiots. I'm actually used to reading them. It's just that there's no tutorial here at all. When you start the game, you have a choice between the regular mode and the Christmas mode. I'll say right away that the Christmas mode is pretty much useless. Apparently the goal is to defeat Santa, but I don't know, I don't get it. Normal mode is, well, it's kind of something. At first, I was trying to figure out what the game wanted from me. The idea is this: you spawn with an army of skeleton minions, and they, like you, automatically attack enemies. Yes, it's auto-attack. The higher your level, the bar on the bottom is, the more difficult the enemies are. And of course, each level gives you 5 cards with an upgrade of some kind to choose from. I sincerely tried to figure it out, but in the end it all boiled down to, well, there's damage, so you need to take it, it's gonna hit hard. And that's it! You can also get souls from monsters, which you can spend on all sorts of upgrades and such. I was leveling up my skeletons because why fight when you can make others fight? Eventually, I realized what I needed to do. I needed to collect 5 scrolls, and even though it was written on the edge of the screen, just look at all this chaos and try to figure it out. There's a ton of stuff on the screen, and the main thing is, nothing is clear. Hooray, hooray, thank you. Some places can be looted, and the roulette starts. There are some places with rituals that do who knows what. Some monsters drop something like experience, some runestones that do what? Sometimes mini-bosses drop scrolls that give some special rituals or something, but it's all so damn similar and boring. Bruh. By the way, remember what I said about soundtrack? Dear editor, please show them the in-game sound. Yes, it's not even close to the music that was in the trailers. And it's even a different genre. What was the point of putting some kind of metal/rock in the trailer if there is not even a hint of that music in the game? Anyway, let's simplify it. What's the point? Collect 5 scrolls, defeat the boss, and get out. That's it. That's the entire game. Literally. I don't know how much the number of scrolls or enemies' strength depends on the difficulty level, I don't know, but all the rounds I played didn't feel different at all. Yes, I understand that this is a roguelite, and it's exactly that, but I won't go into detail about the differences here in the genre, sorry. But even in roguelites, runs should feel different. That's the point of the genre. In this game, everything feels the same. No matter how you level up or upgrade, it feels like you're literally running into the same thing every time. The enemies don't change, the map doesn't change, you're supposed to get stronger as you level up, but what's the point if everything is the same and passive? The game gets boring after about 10 minutes, and at some point, the only thing you're interested in is how many more stolen enemies will appear. It's just sad. There's no other word to describe this game. All these spells are the same, or the difference is simply not noticeable because the AI couldn't figure out how to make it original. You essentially have no influence on the game. You just move here and there and occasionally click with the mouse. That's it. This reminds me of some other game, actually, but oh well. Although, on the other hand, all this boredom is generally understandable. AI isn't capable of creating anything particularly original. Essentially, AI works on a simple principle. It takes a bunch of information, finds similarities, and tries to create some kind of average image. As a result, we end up with such mediocre mechanics, locations, and enemies. And well, it's obvious that if you ask AI to make a fantasy skeleton warrior, for example, it will give you a skeleton with a wooden round shield and an iron sword, and with white pupils on top of that, because that's the average visual image of fantasy skeleton warriors. You can think of it as the AI is trying to please everyone at once. So, what do we have? A boring, mediocre parody of a game that bears no resemblance to real games. If you'd like to check it yourself, I'll leave a link below. As I said at the beginning of the video, artificial intelligence is now a part of our lives. It has taken firm root in every sphere, from the most permissible to the most inappropriate, and all we can do is accept its existence. However, while people are trying to replace everything else with AI in every other field, the video game industry primarily uses AI as a tool for improving gameplay and experimentation. There was news recently that Google launched AI that can generate interactive worlds. And maybe I'm wrong and don't understand anything about development, but imagine if this technology goes beyond just a toy for masses. After all, this way developers will be able to evaluate the appropriateness of certain mechanics, locations, or anything else without having to fully develop them right away. I mean, remember why Silksong was delayed? Wasn't it because the developers had a ton of ideas, many of which had to be thrown out because they simply weren't suitable for the game? And this is considering that all these ideas had to be implemented first. With this technology, they would have been able to test such ideas. Isn't that cool? However, for now, it's nothing more than a toy for internet users generating their own Zelda and GTA games. AI may be the technology of the future. It's a great tool that will speed up development process and help reduce the time and money spent on certain stages. However, AI will never replace real human emotions, creativity, and abilities. And remember, AI isn't to blame for how it's abused by bad people. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, like the video, and leave your thoughts on AI in the comments. Also, check out the other videos on this channel. We have a lot of interesting stuff. Have a nice one. Bye.